Howdy folks, Tom here. This is another in the Truth Be Told series. My power just came back on, so my fan is kicking. I got the breeze. And I'm going to tell what is easily the most controversial experience I've ever had. The one that's cost me the largest number of friends, on the fact that when I tell it, people just think I'm absolutely insane. And it's cost me friends, family, people just don't want to talk to me after they hear this one. But anyhow, here goes. I don't really care what people think. It's my life, and I'm free to tell it if I want. So I was at it was probably like 1988, 87, 88. I was at the Gulf of Mexico fishing with my daddy-o, and we had a great trip. Caught a lot of fish, a lot of snapper and triggerfish and amberjack and cobia. Had a cooler full, and we were headed back to Birmingham, and right around Century, Florida, which is at the Alabama-Florida border, heading north from the Pensacola area. The timing belt went out on the what kind of car was it? His old blue Chrysler something, and it was a LeBaron. Yeah, Chrysler LeBaron. And so the sheriff told us while we're waiting on our friend to come from Birmingham and pick us up, which was about a 4-hour wait, he took us to the Waffle House and told us just to hang out there and wait for our ride. And so we're doing that, and you know how the air inside of a Waffle House can get pretty thick with greasy smoke. I was like, man, I gotta get out and get some fresh air. And so I went outside, real muggy, warm Florida night in the deep south, and I looked up at the moon. It was a full moon, and much to my surprise, the moon was surrounded by bright lights, which we would today call UFOs or spacecraft or whatever. And it looked like Grand Central Station. There must have been 30 of these things, and I don't know how else to describe it. It looked like they were engaged in battle. That's where I lose a lot of people. And they were blinking in, blinking out, shooting around, reappearing in other places, and looked like they were dipping and diving and dodging, the 3 Ds of dodgeball. And I did what anybody else would do. I ran back into the Waffle House and yelled to the entire place. I said, everybody come outside, you gotta see this. There's something crazy happening on the moon. And my dad is the only one who came out to see what was happening, which is probably for the best, because people would have started a freaking riot had they seen what we saw. And my dad was he's a retired Air Force man who worked on the DEW line up in North Canada on the radar, watching for Russian missiles, back in the 60s. And he's seen some stuff, and he knows he had a clearance, and he knows the secrets. And I said, Pop, what is that we're seeing? And all he said to me was, well, it probably is what it looks like. And I felt the gravity of what he said, and I didn't have any more questions. It just is what it was. And it was freaky beyond description to somebody who's never seen anything like that. And that was really the first big experience that got me started down the road of seeing more strange things throughout my life. And I don't remember a whole lot after that. I remember we went back into the Waffle House where everybody stared us down. And eventually our ride came. I was really tired and fell asleep in the back seat of the car and woke up in Birmingham. That was how that situation resolved. But I've been sure to tell as many people as I could about that. You know, years have gone by, and now there's a lot of stories about how the moon isn't what it seems, and a lot of people have filmed. You know, if you go on YouTube and look at amateur astronomers, they will take their telescopes and focus on the moon, and many of them will catch a single ship or two ships flying around the moon, coming and going from it, disappearing into it. But I've never seen any video of what I saw that night. And I've asked a lot of people if they've ever seen anything like that. Nobody says they ever have. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm lucky or, you know, if my pop wasn't there, I would think I had gone crazy. But he confirmed what I was seeing, and don't know what else to say about it. That's that. Well, thanks for listening. I've got a few more experiences to share in the Truth Be Told series, so I'll be working on that. Take care, everybody.